Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. This is part 2 on I'm talking about freedom. What is freedom? And, okay. Alright. Now, we have, and you hear me talk about we have moral duties, and we have constitutional duties. What it is, the Constitution, like I say, limits the government. It doesn't limit the people. It kind of tells the government what their responsibilities are. Now, when we the people give up our inalienable rights, that's when we start having problems. And like I say, when we allow, we have the right to teach our own children, but what they want to do, they want to do it. And what do? We give that right to them. And the same thing with religion and all this stuff. We give up our right to do this stuff. Now that's why I'm against the churches getting to be. They have to work out a deal with the government to become tax exempt. You know what's the church recognizing the government's authority over them? They gave up their inalienable rights, but really that applies to individuals, not so much identities. But this is just an example of how we give up our rights. And so in the Constitution, like I say, we have a duty. True Americans are the ones that believe in the Constitution. I had someone say, well, you can change it. Yes, you can. You can change it, but there's a process you go through by changing it. And like I say, if you think you're going to start changing the Constitution where it's going to interfere with our inalienable rights, no. And that falls under firearms, guns. Over the weekend, I was talking to a 20-year-old. Of course, they're inexperienced. They really don't know what's going on. And he was wanting to limit the high-capacity firearms, because this way, the mass killings, they won't be able to kill so many. And so then I said, oh, so it's okay to kill a few, but there's a number. When you pass that number, it's not okay to kill. So, I mean, the mentality of the young folk are, they're not all there. And, but anyway, it could have been a lot easier to explain if I was thinking about freedom. Freedom is, like I said, an inalienable right. And we have got the right to arm ourselves. It doesn't say how. Now, we may not be able to afford a lot of stuff, like a, F-16 or something like that, a tank, or, I mean, there's things we may not be able to afford, but like I say, we can do it. We have the right to do it. Now, it also covers, like I say, the speech. In other words, we're able to talk. And yes, even now, what's happened is the media has been taken over by the socialist, New World Order type, and that falls under that also. I mean, they can do it, and but at the same time, if they are promoting the destruction of any part of the Constitution, they become a threat, and they don't have that right. Remember, I mentioned the inalienable rights of the individual, okay, and I talked about the church giving up their right. Okay, now this is the extreme on the other side. When the media, they don't have those rights. That's the freedom of speech is for the individual. And this is what the media is trying to shun you from speaking. That's why anybody that says, you know, they're for they're backing President Trump. Well, you know when they were the election, when they would riot and start, you know, the Trump supporters, they would try to riot against the Trump supporters. And even now, you know, if you they try to make it shameful to be a Trump supporter. You know what I mean? So, but it's not an individual. You know, it's the media itself. Now, when the individuals will attack you for your support or whatever, you know, like that, well, this is what I'm saying. You don't understand. We have the inalienable right to protect ourselves. So when these weirdos, snowflakes, I guess they kind of call them, when they're attacking you, you've got not only the right, but you have the responsibility, the duty to protect yourself, the moral duty to protect yourself. And you've got the Constitution to back you up. The Constitution explains to the government you have that right to protect yourself. So the media is trying to cause trouble. And that's why they talk about, well, you know, the slavery and, you know, the Indians, you know, we run the Indians out and, you know, I mean, this... Whoa, man, this is what I'm saying. They're going after things that they have no, you know, what they're trying to do is just shake the cage and see what comes out. And this is what I'm saying, what's going to come out. You keep shaking the cage enough, what you're going to have is individuals that are, well, they have a constitutional and moral duty to step up. Now, when that time happens, I don't know. But when that time happens, everyone in the world will know. And that's because we have a constitutional and moral duty to stand. And like I say, we have our political, what do you call them, political leaders? Oh, man, that's a loose term. But our political leaders, they start right here, right in your local area. They represent us. And the next ones above them, they represent, you know, just right on up the line. It all comes back down. We, the people, are the ones that need to be represented. And what's going on now is they are just protecting themselves. The political people are protecting themselves only because they've done so much immoral and unconstitutional stuff. They've got treasonous, if not criminal, charges awaiting for them. And they know it. And like I say, so now they come up with stupid shit, such as trying to bring racial into the conversation, or, you know, just any of that stuff. So that's the first thing. When you hear someone talk about racial, just automatically you know they're trying to avoid their constitutional and moral duties. And that's why they would talk, they destroying the statues, and they don't enforce the laws to stop this. You know, this, you know, and they got the stupid kids that will get up out of school and go, you know, I mean, this is all, none of this falls under morals and constitution. None of this does. And the time is going to come when we, the people, will be forced to do our duties. We shouldn't be forced to be our duties. We should And we've been telling everybody this needs to be done and this needs to be done, and they're not doing it. Now President Trump has got in there and he's trying to do all this stuff. He knows about the swamp and he's trying to get everything done, but he's doing other things also. He's got a lot on his plate, and he's getting us out of New World Order type anything, because New World Order thing, we've got to remember, does not recognize inalienable rights. They don't recognize God. And this is the difference. The United States recognizes God as the superior creator. Now, you don't have to be Christian, but you have to understand that. And if you don't, you are not a true American. That's why we've been having problems with a lot of these people might be born here, even though there's a lot of them that are illegals that are protesting and bitching and raising hell. But like I say, if they don't understand the Christian values and the value of God, then they don't understand the Constitution. And we're right back to, we have a moral and constitutional duty to do what we have to do. And that time is, come on.